Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Mindful SMP. In the last episode, we added the church to our city build. So we're going to go ahead and remove that from our wall of tasks. The only other thing on the wall is Music Club, so that's what we're going to focus on today. So we are going to put the Music Club in this building here. Well, that's interesting. Somehow the witch got a friend. Well, I think one of you has to go. Uh-oh. There we go. Mindful SMP is sponsored by MC Pro Hosting. If you want to play on a server with friends, you can save 20% by using the code MINDFUL at checkout. So this is the space that we have to work with, and I think I want there to be a stage and a bar and some seating and, you know, the normal kind of stuff you'd see at like a music club. And I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to build and talk a little bit. So first thing I wanted to talk about was streaming, because I haven't been doing any of it. And mainly that's because I just haven't found the time with the Mindful video and the Let's Play video each week. Even with that, I haven't found a good cadence yet. I kind of play when I can, and then I edit for a couple of days, and then I post the videos. So yeah, streaming I think is a fun thing, and I like connecting with the audience and that sort of thing. But just with life and job and all of that, I haven't found a time to do it yet. You know, I thought about like recording an episode live so you guys could like watch me build and do all of that and then post the episode, but I just didn't know if people would care about that or if that would be interesting at all. So I do hope to start streaming again at some point. I just haven't found a schedule that works for me yet. The next thing I wanted to talk about was my Let's Play world. If you don't watch my Let's Play, I highly encourage it. It's a really, really cool series that I've been doing for coming up on a year now, and it's just a world where I do survival vanilla and build lots of cool stuff and lots of farms and explore and all of that. Very recently, I added a new data pack to the world that creates tougher mobs and legendary loot. And I did some tweaking to the data pack so that it would fit kind of a story that I came up with. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be challenging for one, because the mobs are really nasty. And I think it'll be fun for the audience because you'll see things that you've never seen before, as far as the storytelling and the legendary loot and that sort of thing. So yeah, if you've never checked out my Let's Play, give it a shot. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a little different than the Mindful stuff. And speaking of Mindful, we are coming up very quickly, I'm sure, on the 1.17 update. And we've been talking about resetting the world. The world that we are currently in has been going since 1.14. So it's a very mature world. A lot of the players have done what they're going to do, and there's just not much else to do. And with the reset coming up, you know, how much time do you really want to invest in a new project? I've been having a good time with, you know, feeling the world out and getting to know everybody and what everybody's capable and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think it's going to be really cool once we do the reset, because everybody will start at square one and there'll be a lot more cooperation and collaboration. We're really wrestling with how to do it because they have split the 1.17 update into two parts. So the world height limit stuff is not going to come until holiday, probably, you know, December. So we're going to get the new blocks, we're going to get some of the new mobs, that sort of thing. And so when we reset, we'll have this new world. But if we go too far out into this world and we load a bunch of chunks, those chunks aren't going to get the benefit of the other half of the update with the world height and the new caves and all of that. So we're really struggling with how do we manage that? How do we reset sometime in the summer and then manage the world in a way that we can keep ourselves close enough together that we don't ruin the world for the 1.18 or whatever we're calling it update. So anyway, we've been talking a lot about that. If you have any suggestions, I'm totally open to hear things. And, you know, I've been pitching some ideas that are pretty crazy, and we'll see what actually sticks. And finally, I just want to say that I haven't spent a lot of time messing with note blocks before. This has been really interesting and really fun. I tend to be very musical in my real life. You know, I play a lot of instruments and I do all the music for the videos and that sort of thing. But yeah, note blocks were something I just never messed with. So yeah, I'll spend a little time a little later in the video showing you some of the things that I actually created and how they work. The music club is done, and I'm going to give you a tour, but first I want to show you how some of the mechanics of the note blocks work. Note blocks are pretty particular about what is below them and what is above them. So if you have nothing below note block, it sort of makes this kind of harp sound. But if you put different blocks below it, it'll make different sounds. Now, if you put a block on top of a note block, it'll make no sound. I have something like this set up inside the music club. So there are some pressure plates on the stage that will activate the redstone that goes into the note block. So basically, if I step on a pressure plate, it makes a sound. Now, I wanted there to be several notes. And the problem here is if you put two note blocks next to each other, you'll notice that very quickly the redstone wants to connect. So what I had to do was use repeaters so that things didn't get commingled. But even here, if I build this circuit, you'll see it connects. So what I had to do is I had to stagger things. It's basically the same circuit, but offset by one. That way, if I step on this, that note sounds. If I step on this, that note sounds. And I essentially just have this over and over in a zigzag pattern on the stage. So underneath the floor of the music club, I have a circuit that looks sort of like this to create a drum loop. And basically what's going on is I have 4 note blocks. 2 of them have stone underneath to make a kick drum sound, and 2 of them have sand underneath to make a snare drum sound. When I turn on this lever, the signal will come out, and then there's some sand here to turn this into a pulse. So the signal gets broken by that piston and just turns into a pulse, which will cycle around here through these repeaters, each of them set to maximum delay so it doesn't go too quickly. If I flip this, super simple. Now, I also wanted a way to turn it off. The way I accomplished that is out of the signal, I took a repeater, just went into a solid block to pass the signal, and then into another repeater, and then this repeater goes into a sticky piston facing this way. Now what'll happen when I flip this lever is, just like we saw, the signal gets turned into a pulse which cycles around, and then also the signal will come this way and extend this sticky piston here. Now when I retract this, it'll turn off this signal, but it'll also pull this note block out of the way, and that'll kill the loop. If I turn it back on, signal will come along, and this note block will get pushed back into place, creating the loop. And then if I do this, pulls it all back, turns it off. Here's an overhead view of it so you can kind of take a screenshot if you want to copy this circuit and use it for yourself. Another thing to remember is this is just a little 4-note loop. You could do a 10-note loop or a 100-note loop and still use this same circuit to toggle it on and off. All right, now that you kind of understand that, let's go inside. And here we are. We've got our nice bar over here. Here's Billy the bartender waiting to serve us. He's got his nice kegs back there, some glasses on the bar. Got some seating around the edge, which looks pretty cool. And then we have this nice stage up here. The lighting in here gets down to 8, but doesn't get down to 7 anywhere. So it seems a little dark, but I think we're spawn proof. I saw this on Reddit. Somebody used yellow beds as beers. I just think that looks really, really cool. So that circuit that I showed you is underneath the floor here, and then all of the note blocks up here are where you would perform. So if we turn this on, we got our drum beat, Pretty fun. Billy is not impressed. Oh yeah, in case you missed it, under the carpet here, there are honey blocks. So that's why Billy's just sitting back here, is because he can't jump over the bar. And that is a music club. And that means we can take music club off the wall of tasks. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.